Hey Virgo, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. We take what works and what doesn't, as with everything. If I don't catch your wavelength or storyline on this one, check your other major placements. Also, at the end of the video, I post pictures of the spread, so if you want to read along at home or check my work, you can. And then we're starting off with the Oracle decks of Moonology and Work Your Light, and we had some pop out right at the beginning, so we're ready to talk. And then we're going to move on to the Mystical Moments Tarot for more traditional style tarot spread. So, ooh la la. Oh man, I was just thinking about this. Holy moly. Okay, we're going to do this. Believe in the impossible. Blue moon, believe in the impossible. Believe in infinite possibilities. It's really amazing how so many of us really are invested in telling the universe what it can and cannot do, what it's allowed to do for us and what it's not to do. I just spent years of my life saying that will never happen. Who the hell am I to tell the universe what cannot happen? Seriously? That doesn't make any sense at all. So believe in the impossible. This is a universe full of infinite possibilities. You can't tell it what it can't do, and don't even try. That's a dumb move. So, and don't try to tell it what it can't do and then make sure it can't do that. So, I love that card. Believe in the impossible. Conversely, be open and believe in infinite possibilities. So your commitment's being tested, first quarter moon. See these clouds? Something that you want, this impossible thing. We're getting some clouds and we're starting to feel like it is impossible. We're starting to feel like this is never going to happen. We're starting to feel like we're losing our vision, right? Our vision's getting clouded. Some obstacles are coming in that are making us not be able to see this and maybe even not be able to believe in it, believe that it can happen. So your commitment's being tested. Stay strong, stay focused. Storm clouds coming, gathering. Might not be able to see the moon very clearly, but it's still there, right? It's still there. We're going to practice a little object impermanence here. We're going to understand that just because we can't see the goal and see it all happening doesn't mean it's not happening, right? Just because you can't, it's like playing peekaboo with with this dream. Like just because you can't see it right now and it's covered up by clouds doesn't mean it's not there, right? It's there. So that's what the game peekaboo does for children, is help teach them object impermanence, so that just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. So that's what we're doing here with this little dream, with this thing, this impossibility. And then I love this one. You're very close actually to achieving your goal. Gibbous moon. You're actually a lot closer than you think. Obstacles. I love this because both of these have obstacles surrounding them. But this one, they're pulling away, they're receding. And this one, they're coming in. You can't see it very well, but it's actually a lot closer than you think. So that moon, no, that's a really bad metaphor. The moon is not coming right at you and going to crush you, but your dream could be coming towards you. You can't see it, but it's actually, you're a lot closer than you think. It's like around the bend. So just because it's around a bend and you can't see it from this angle doesn't mean it's not there. So it's just around the bend, very close to achieving your goal. And then I love this one. This is the one I've been thinking about. Well, I've been thinking about and believe in the impossible and how many years we invest in telling the universe what's not possible and then making sure that it's not possible. And then we have dance with life. Do something to change your energy. So there's dance with life, do something to change your energy. So we can change our energy in a couple different ways, through breath work, through physical activity or not physical activity, whatever you're used to doing, do the opposite. So if you are very active and on your feet all the time, take a little break, put those feet up. If you're sitting at a desk, go be active. And then music is also a really wonderful way to change a vibe, change something up. So dancing with life, changing up your energy, bringing maybe even something more playful to it. But there's also a sense of dancing with life as in, and I like it with this whole believing in the impossible thing, as in not forcing things. The sort of Wu Wei idea of like not forcing things and allowing things to be very natural, to be very spontaneous. And in a way, when we force something, when we're like, I have this goal, I'm going to achieve it no matter what, and I'm going to achieve it in this way, we sort of destroy the labyrinth of life. So, right, if you've ever done a labyrinth, it's this winding thing. You can see the center. Really, if you just wanted to go from point A to point B, you could do that, but you would destroy the whole labyrinth in the process. This very spiritual journey, this very important spiritual journey, going from the entrance of the labyrinth to the center of the labyrinth. We can go directly there. We can make these rigid goals and very specific things, but in the way but if we go directly there, in a way we sell our soul a bit. We destroy a spiritual journey, which is going through the whole path of the labyrinth. So it's not that we're never going to get there. And actually, this whole thing is reminding me of a labyrinth. We're still heading there because very close to achieving your goal. So there's one particular labyrinth I'm thinking of. When you start, you can see the end goal, and it looks like you're going directly towards it. And then right before you get there, I was like, this is the most boring labyrinth ever. It's just like some sort of design, but then it's like a path, and then there's just design around it. But right before you get there, you can't, and then you begin the whole journey. So it's almost like you almost got somewhere, and then you begin this whole journey around it. And this is a spiritual growth, a journey of great growth. And then you like at the end, you're like, am I ever getting to the center of this thing? I really like labyrinths that aren't just spirals, that are like complex little mazes. And am I ever getting, and then suddenly there you are, you're in the center, and you weren't really ready for it, or you were like, wait, I thought this was going to go on forever. So that's the vibe I'm getting here, is you're in a bit of a labyrinth, and somehow that relates to dance with life. Oh, it's like, do the labyrinth, do the dance, allow life to bring in, wish, dream, believe in the impossible, but don't force the impossible. Don't force this dream. Allow life to take you on some twists and turns. It's going to be beautiful. It's cliche, it's all in the journey, but it kind of is here. And this dance with life, we could just shove life around a big floor and be like, do this, give me this. But where's the fun in that? Allow life to be responsive. Allow yourself to kind of indicate and life to respond a little bit and make it a dance. So I like dance with life, even though like this deck says, do something to change your energy. I like the idea of dancing with life, of sharing a desire and allowing life to meet you partway with that, and sort of doing this shared dance with life rather than imposing our will on it and forcing it. All right, Virgo, this is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, to-do list, possible outcome. All right, Virgo, we got Virgo here, which is funny because Leo got Virgo as their outcome. So I love to see the energies flowing through these readings, and the feeling that we're in some sort of collective movement together, but it's affecting all of us differently. So I love to see it. In your recent past, we have 10 of Wands. We have something you put down a burden. This is the burden of, oh my gosh, this is flowing really nicely. We've got the burden of other people's expectations, other people's labels, what other people want, representing their wants and desires. You maybe didn't even intend to carry other people's wants and desires around with you for the rest of your life, but they loaded it up. This can be parental expectations. This can be societal expectations. Maybe you're part of a group and they have expectations that you're going to represent them in a certain way, or that you have to be this certain way if you're a member of this group. So this is other people, their expectations, their needs, their desires piled all on top of you. It may have been unintentional on their part. It may have been unintentional on your part to receive it. Oftentimes this card is depicted as someone with a bunch of sticks in a backpack. That's one of my favorite depictions of this card. It's like people were just putting sticks in his backpack as he kept walking and going to his destination. Maybe 2 of them were his, but as he went, people were, and he didn't realize it, they didn't realize it. A lot of expectations, carrying a heavy burden, a lot of expectations. And this is you deciding to put it down. This is you saying, actually, I just want this one tulip. I just want this one orange tulip. This is what draws to me. And I love the chakra implication of this, the sacral chakra, the regenerative, creative, procreative chakra, passion, and putting this down and just like, you know what, this is what I want. At least seeing what you want and knowing it and reaching for it. And it's time to put this burden down. So that's where you've been. Where you are right now is you put that burden down. and you're the Hermit. You're in Hermit mode, Virgo mode. This is your card here. I don't usually do that. That's not really part of the reading I do, but in this case, well, here you are, Virgo. You're off by yourself. This is, you've already put down the burden of other people's expectations. So we have, and other people and what they want and what they need and what they're hoping for. So we have you off by yourself here. This is you paying attention to your North Star, your own unique North Star. What do you want? Maybe you're trying to figure it out. What do you want? Oh my gosh, this reading is so beautiful so far. What do you want? And this is you taking time out. The Hermit takes time away from again, labels. Again, like this already happened in this past. You put that down. You saw something that you wanted. Now you're out here by yourself. You're like, okay, I'm not what other people say I am. I'm not, I don't have to do things that other people say I have to do with my life, right? A lot of this 10 of Wands can just be our general society of saying what's going to make you happy. We're going to have this type of success. We're going to have this type of money. We're going to have this type of, and this is you saying whatever to that. There's actually something else that makes me happy. There's something else that thrills me. And so this is getting, no matter how unusual, no matter how strange, no matter how outside the norms. And again, I'm just hearing this like dropping of the labels, dropping of what you're supposed to be. And there's some really good parenting work done. One of the phrases is labeling is disabling. It limits us, it crowds us in. So labels can be very useful to help understand a concept or a person and just kind of get where they're going, but they can also be these cages, these prisons, this list of expectations and rules you're supposed to be, oh, you're this thing, this is your set of rules. So this is you stepping away from that, going out on your own, following your own North Star, what guides you, what leads you, what's going to make you happy. And the Hermit never sees this grand vista, although in this one the Hermit does. But it's your own lighthouse. It's your own North Star. It's your own navigation system. And you're really tuning into it. It's unique to you. It's nobody else's business. It's your own unique navigation system, and you're tuning into it. It doesn't usually show you a big, broad picture. It usually shows you 1 or 2 steps in advance. Your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape, what you're trying to figure out, I don't know if this is necessarily hopes or fears, but what you're trying to figure out is which of these options is going to make you happy. So there might be a little bit of debate. There's one that's highly intuitive. It's clear. It's right out there, right? I love this because we sort of have this fishing here. You're fishing around for your North Star. You're trying to catch your North Star, and here you are selecting one, right? It's almost like this fishing rod is a wand in a way, a magic wand, and here you have your magic wand, and this is making choices and decisions. So you might be sitting here. This is very internal so far. This really has no business, nobody else's business here. What's going on with you? What's going on in your heart? It's nobody else's business, and you're making choices and decisions. You may be debating it. You may be worried about whether this path, this choice, this decision is really going to make you happy. Is this really your own North Star actually telling you to do this? How can this be? I don't know, but you're choosing it, right? There's a couple of options here, and you are, there's one that's more obvious, but that you still need to go through the debate process. So you're debating the merits of other options and what you can do. I see you in a real decision-making process here of something that you want and getting really in touch. All of these cards are about you getting in touch with your own intuition. Maybe you're debating a little bit. Maybe, you're feeling a little isolated and alone with it. Maybe you've had to, set up better boundaries with both our cultural expectations and economic expectations and other people's expectations. And then here you're still sort of debating, trying to figure something out. There's a very obvious intuitive thing, but you're not sure still whether that's the right one for you. But you're making this choice. You're making decisions. It can be a little overwhelming emotionally. You can be a little bit emotionally, just trying to figure it out. But there is one that sticks out. The debate's important. The pro-con list is important. But in the end, you still got to go with your intuition, and you still got to go with that thing, your own North Star, though, the thing that drives you, the thing that you want, this impossible thing that you want. You still have to go through. You still need to go towards it, even though it might seem impossible and weird, and it doesn't win the pro-con list. And then we have what's the issue here? Page of Wands, someone not listening to their intuition. I think you guys got reversed King of Wands recently too. That would be someone not listening to their intuition. Page of Wands is a person or you or a situation, but it can indicate a person. Someone here is not very curious. Someone here is not trying to figure anything out. Someone here is not following their intuition, even though we have this whole row of trying to get in touch with your intuition. What's the point of getting in touch with it if you have no intention of following it? If you have no intention of following where it leads? It's trying to lead you somewhere. It's like, you know, it's like Lassie trying to get help because Timmy's in the well and needs help. And no one's listening to Lassie here. It's like, shut up, Lassie, go away. So there's something that's trying to get somebody's attention, possibly yours. It's again having to do with intuition, having to do with something that you're supposed to be curious about, or something that needs to be gone towards. The Page of Wands is someone learning something, being open to something new. So someone's shut off from something new. And it's a lot of curiosity about an intuitive hit, an intuitive thing. Here I see you having a lot of curiosity. So someone in the situation doesn't have curiosity, or isn't listening to their intuition, or isn't moving on their intuition, moving towards the intuition, isn't learning about their intuition, isn't in touch with their intuition, even though you are having it scream at you. Are you just not going to move on it though? Here it is. You're doing all this work to get in touch with it, and then it's like there's some kind of disconnect here. A lack of curiosity, a lack of inspiration. Maybe you've already made your choice, but you don't see the opening, and you're not very inspired for it right now. Maybe this whole process has taken you out of, it's just a choice now, or decisions, or there's something very uninspired here. There's something new that was supposed to begin that's not beginning. Like you've already made your choice, but it's not moving anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Or you're not listening to your intuition, but yet I see you trying to. Well, in your environment, you have a tower moment. So this is fun. It's maybe your choice to not live up to expectations and to just go your own way and follow your own intuition has created a bit of a problem for your life, and something's falling apart. This is external to you. So this is something that's really maybe not necessarily falling apart, but a big change in the structure of your life and what you do on a day-to-day basis, maybe even the people in your life on a day-to-day basis, or something. There's something in your life, the very nature of it, the structure of your life is changing. How your calendar looks is changing. There's something maybe you've relied on and clung to, and it's just falling apart. It could be this sort of expectation, or how things look, or how things appear, and it's falling apart. It's not, it's just, in this card, I just see it's not necessarily a welcome change. It's not something you were really looking forward to. You kind of you might be trying to keep it together, trying to hold something together, but it's just structurally unsound. I mean, someone built a tower on top of a fucking volcano. Why would you do that? This was never going to last. It was never meant to last. It was a tower built, it was a home. Someone built their house on top of an exploding volcano. I mean, what did you think was going to happen? I mean, not to be too harsh about it, but someone built their home on top of a volcano, and now the volcano is erupting, and there's a lot of grief. I mean, yeah, that's where the harshness isn't helpful. There's a lot of grief and a lot of sadness. There always is with the tower moment. It's scary. It's sad. You don't want this thing to be falling apart, and yet somehow it is. It's somehow connected, though, to you making a choice to this choice to follow your own heart. Something's falling apart. But your to-do list is the star card here. So this is the star card can be a date with destiny. So if you get a date with destiny, accept it, accept that offer, accept that invitation, accept the limelight. If your own inner lighthouse, inner guidance system leads you into the limelight, be there, be in that limelight, accept it, understand it, be in the limelight. There is also a sense where this star card can be being the light for somebody else as well, being a blessing to someone else, because it's your to-do list, right? If it was any other card, I'd say you're experiencing the limelight, you're experiencing blessings, you're experiencing a date with destiny somehow, and that could still be going on here. But also, as your to-do, that can still be going on, right? But as a to-do list, it's being someone else's date with destiny, being someone else's blessing, being someone else's guiding light, shining the light on somebody else. You being called to be the star, which is, so you might be being called to be the star. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, you might be being called to be the star, but you also might be being called to shine the light, to be the spotlight on somebody else, to spotlight and highlight someone else. Or just being that conduit for the light shining on you. And then, I feel like, especially with the general, we're looking at a couple situations, a couple possibilities of you being in the light, being in the limelight, accepting the spotlight, right? One of the tricks of standing in the spotlight, which we all need to do from time to time, is to understand where your light is, right? Where's the spotlight? How do you know you're standing in the spotlight and not in front of it and not behind it? It actually has to do with your nose and seeing the light shine on your nose. So making sure that if the spotlight's supposed to be shining on you right now, making sure you're finding your light and you're standing in it in a way that allows you to be seen in the best light, like best foot forward. If the spotlight shines on you, put your best foot forward, make sure your nose is shining and you can see that you're in your spotlight, right? So accepting the spotlight if it happens to be your turn to stand in it. But also there's a possibility for some of you that you have an opportunity to be the spotlight for somebody else, to shine a light on someone else into someone else's darkness, to be a blessing to them and to help them feel that they're in the right place at the right time and things are going to be okay. So either accepting the light from a fairy godmother or being someone else's fairy godmother. Maybe even both for some of you. And then possible outcome, 5 of Pentacles, feeling left out, impoverished. This could be a warning that unless you do strive to be a blessing for someone else, you could end up being left in the dark yourself, left out, left in the cold. If you don't accept this spotlight, if you don't accept this this moment in the light, you could end up feeling left out in the darkness, right? 5 of Pentacles is cold, dark, poverty, left out, emptiness, and loss. So I feel like this is a warning card, that you need to engage in this star energy more, whatever I just said you're doing with the star energy. Because this you could be left out. You could be left out in the cold, abandoned, left alone, not having received what you wanted. If you refuse it, if you refuse what you want at this point, it just may. Why would you refuse what you want? Well, we're very conditioned for this. I mean, we've already talked about this with the 10 of Wands. These conditionings, these things where we pull away from what we want. We don't engage with our true dreams, right? It's coming under this Hermit card, the star card is. So I feel like if you find your, oh my God, yes, if you find your own North Star and you don't pick that, this is what happens. So you're out here, you're fishing for your North Star, you're fishing for your light, you're fishing for your lighthouse. You've got some choices, some options you're trying to choose. This is saying choose, oh my God, how did I not see this? Choose the star, choose your North Star. You see it, you've gone through all this trouble to find it. And here's your North Star. If you don't pick this North Star, if you don't, who can help you at that point? All right, because you're in danger of it, because you're not really listening to your intuition, you're not really following it. So you're in danger of not picking something that you want, right? Believing the impossible. You're in danger of your own beliefs, your own refusal to allow the universe to bring you what you want. You could be in great danger of shutting that out of your life because it's impossible. So believe in the impossible, right? This star card is impossible. It's this impossible dream, but it's coming closer. It's possible. It is possible. And unless you accept that and believe in infinite possibilities, you're just shutting yourself out. It's not the universe. It's not destiny or fate. It's just you making that choice. All right, Virgo, that was a little... that was an interesting reading. There was some flow there. I feel like I just got off a roller coaster. All right, so see you in a couple weeks. Hope this was helpful.